Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean Stacking the Money Green. Give me a follow on Twitter at Sean T. Green. And as always, Daily Juice is being brought to you by BetMGM. Got a new sign-up offer. Head over to BetMGM.com. Use our promo code JUICE25. Risk-free bet up to $1,000 and a $25 free bet. All right, lot to get through picks-wise. Down, but nothing crazy. A lot of just up and down. We'll get to some of the Saturday night stuff that we still have to get through. And then Monday Night Football. Ravens money line, that was a loss. I mean, Ravens, they had like 5 drives inside the 30. The Browns walked away with 3 points. Justin Tucker missed 2 field goals, including a block kick. It was just never going to be the Ravens night. The Sherfield, anytime touchdown, 2 touchdowns, that didn't hit. But man, he got his hands on that first one. And then after he dropped that first one in the Dolphins-Bills game, it was clear too. It was like, all right, dude, you're not getting any more red zone looks. So I felt good because it was like, hey, they're going to design stuff for him near the goal line. They did. You got to catch the ball, Sherfield. Eagles won, didn't cover. Again, shanked field goal by Jake Elliott. Pretty windy there. They also kind of, it was a classic look-ahead game. Should have stayed away, but I couldn't. The matchups were so, and you saw it in the yardage. Like, A.J. Brown at 180 yards, Devonta Smith 120 yards. Just got a little sloppy with the turnovers there. Sanders with a rare fumble. Hurts with 2 picks, which you never see. Titans +3. That ended up being a push. Man, hats off to Herbert. That was a great last drive to get them into field goal range. Bucks +3.5. Close your eyes special doesn't come through. Does move to 5-3 for the year. Again, it's a historical model. Even Tom Brady's sucking so hard, he's breaking historical models. I think it was the first time it was ever up 17-0 and lost. Like, when he was up 17-0, all right, they can at least get the cover. They had like 4 turnovers back to back in the third quarter. Insane. I mean, I know they suck, but I thought they could cover the 3.5. Dolphins +7. That was a win. Fortunate there that Singletary went down on the last play. Shout out to you, Singletary. And then Broncos -1.5. Colt McCoy got knocked out, although McSorley brought an interesting element to the Broncos game with his running ability. So I don't know. That always felt pretty good there. So yeah. Hey, you guys know you can win an autographed Earl Campbell jersey? I mean, this thing is just awesome. Just to get one of these sweet old school powder blue Houston Oilers jerseys. All you got to do, go to youtube.com/bettingpros, hit subscribe, comment on this video, and turn those notifications on so you don't miss when we announce the winner. Just announced the Stephon Diggs winner, and the winner already hit us up. Daily Juice listener, shout out to you. Awesome to see and awesome to hear you guys winning free jerseys. Again, the picks are free, the jerseys are free. So we got a sweet thing going on here. And the Discord is free. Again, tons of winners being put out all the time in the Discord. Not only, I'll put in the first touchdown bets, didn't hit tonight in the prime time, but, answer any questions. But there's a lot of other fellow #sharps. It's a buy DGens for DGens. I think you guys will enjoy it if you're not already in there. It's like your betting group text, but with some new dudes that you're. I mean, again, it's guys talking about gambling. If you like this show, you're gonna like the Discord. Rams at Packers Monday Night Football. I'm going on the Pack here, -7 for 2 units. Get that over at BetMGM. Rams have only covered 1 game on the road so far this season. 1-3-1 ATS, or actually, sorry, 1-4-1 ATS. Packers are holding on to a playoff run. I just like the scenario here for the Packers at home with extra time. You have extra time to prepare for Baker Mayfield. I know Baker Mayfield looked good at home against a Raiders team that just figures out new ways to lose week after week. Although we have to talk about that game in just a second. But again, the Packers have extra time to prepare for Baker Mayfield. And I think the Rams really can be passed on. I still don't understand why the Raiders didn't throw the ball more against that defense. I mean, Devontae Adams was great against them early, and then they just got away from it. They decided to just pound the rock with Josh Jacobs, and the Rams' run defense is pretty good. So I think this is a game where Christian Watson's going to get loose, and I see they're going to be able to throw on this Rams defense. And again, the Rams, that was, I think you're selling high with the Rams here because they covered against Seattle. They covered in one against the Raiders. Those are like two kind of get up spots for them. Now you're going all the way into Green Bay. I just think it's a tough spot for them. And again, Baker's playing. You're going to prepare for Baker. I like the Packers laying 7-2 units. That Raiders game was insane. I mean, Vikings game was like the historic comeback. The Raiders game, I had the red zone on. Then I see that they flipped to this game that they're doing the lateral. And as they're doing it, I'm thinking to myself, well, first off, Stevenson got pretty far on the draw. And then he pitches it back to Jacoby Myers. And I'm like, all right, but what are you doing here? And then he launches the ball, and in air, I think everyone had the same reaction. Like, what are you doing, you maniac? And Chandler Jones intercepts it. Mac Jones is right there to tackle him. And oh man, that has to go down the Hall of Fame as the most humiliating stiff arm of all time. He just put him down. Oh, Raiders. And how did the Raiders win that game? One, like, how did the Raiders win that game? And then two, if that was going to happen in a Raiders game, how did it happen to the team the Raiders were playing? The Raiders have had some insane endings to their games so far this season. This time they were actually on the right side. I still can't believe that game. All right, time for my favorite props. All 1 unit plays, 2 units on that side. Ben Skoranek over 2.5 catches, -145, which it's right on the edge. DK. I think this guy is clearly Baker's guy, and I don't know if he's just if it's just because he didn't have a ton of time to prepare, and Skoranek's an easy guy to throw to, but he had 8 targets in the game against the Raiders. He played, and Skoranek's played in a 100% of the snaps last game, 97% the game before, so clearly they need this guy as a receiver. Over 2.5, I think, is very easy, and again, they're going to get some easy bubble screen stuff for Baker, and I think Skoranek could be that dude. Over 2.5 feels very, very doable for Ben Skoranek. Next up, you got an under alert. Tyler Higbee, under 28.5 receiving yards over on DK. Packers defense is really good against the tight end. Second fewest yards allowed to the tight end in the National Football League this season. And again, early, small sample size, but only 2 catches on 11 yards in that game with Mayfield. So again, it's only one game. I'm not really basing the pick entirely on that, but I do think it helps. And then Tyler, it's just really Green Bay is pretty good against a tight end. 28.5 feels way too high for Higbee, and it seems like they're just going to spread the ball a ton. Like, everyone's going to get a couple targets, and I think Skoranek could be the lead guy as far as receivers. So, like the under on Tyler Higbee. Last but not least, right in the hot hand with Christian Watson, anytime touchdown, +140 over on DK. He's had 8 touchdowns in the last 4 games. They get him involved, obviously, in the passing game, but they also figure out ways to get him involved in the running game. Always like taking guys, anytime touchdown receivers that they also involve in the running game, because they're going to work up some gadget stuff. Again, if I'm Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers during this bye week, I go, we got one guy who's really explosive and can really make a ton of plays. Right now, it's Christian Watson. What can we do to get this guy the ball more? Hey, let's do that. So Christian Watson, anytime touchdown at +140. Again, 8 touchdowns in the last 4 games. At some point, he's going to hit a wall, but I like him really a lot coming off the bye because I do think they're going to scheme some stuff up for him against the Rams pass defense that is pretty suspect. Again, I think the Raiders could have passed more on him, and for whatever reason, they just decided to get cute and control the game and pounded with Josh Jacobs. Didn't work out. All right, so the picks for Monday night. Give me Christian Watson, anytime touchdown, +140 over on DK. Give me Tyler Higbee, under 28.5 receiving yards, also on DK. Ben Skoranek, over 2.5 catches, -145. And then Packers, -7 for 2 units over on BetMGM. Remember, subscribe and comment on YouTube. Get involved in that Earl Campbell jersey. And the guy who won, I went through, he commented a bunch, so each comment is its own entry. Again, it's free. Why not do it? The show's free, the pick's free, the Discord's free. That is always a plus EV opportunity. And you get a nice free bonus. BetMGM.com, promo code JUICE25, $1,000 risk-free bet, and a $25 free bet. That sounds pretty sweet. Follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros. Follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Check out my other podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast. You know what to do. Subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.